This episode is set to publish on Thanksgiving Day in the United States, 2023. This is my single favorite day of the year. And Thanksgiving Day happens the fourth Thursday of every November, every year throughout the United States. And it's a recognized holiday, federal holiday, and it's a time for giving thanks and for counting your blessings and taking inventory of all the goodness that you have in your life. And this is my single favorite day of the year. And the gratitude part is, when I was growing up as a little boy, it wasn't as much about the gratitude for me growing up as it was about the traditions of the food and football. And my day starts really early when I open my eyes. And I am the cook around the house. I do all the grocery shopping. My wife does some of the shopping, but I do all the grocery shopping. And I prepare the food, and I wake up and I'll start cutting vegetables for stuffing, and I'll start cutting the mushrooms so I can make there's this mushroom dish that I make, and I have a turkey right now that's brining. And it's going to be ready on Thanksgiving Day, and after being brined for a couple of days, and I'll throw it on the smoker, and it's just an amazing day. And my day starts early, and I start doing the prepping, and I get everything ready, and then football comes on in the morning, and I'll turn football on, and man, the house smells great and it looks great. My wife decorated, and on Halloween Day this year, October 31st, we actually put the Christmas tree up, and it's lit. It's not decorated, but it is lit, and my house is very festive. And on Thanksgiving Day, it's going to be even more festive. My single favorite day of the year, and it is a day that's recognized for giving thanks and counting your blessings, and stopping and pausing a second and reflecting on how awesome life really is, and in the first world countries, how good we really have it in the world. Now, my family twice this year traveled outside the United States, and we travel outside of the United States regularly, and we travel all over the United States regularly, but we've seen destitute places, we've seen impoverished places, we've seen 10 cities and places that, where people live in abject poverty. So gratitude comes really easy for me. And my kids have seen the slums and seen, poverty in other countries. So we're a family that's really grateful more days than just one. But this is just an extra special day to increase that level of gratitude and help you reflect on that all day long. Now, when I'm doing my work inside of Inner Wealth Global, one question that comes up regularly, and let's look, I live a really good life, and we're financially, we're blessed. And I've got, our mastermind just keeps growing, and it's phenomenal. Our business keeps growing. So I'm blessed in many, many ways. I'm blessed with health. I'm blessed with a lot of love in our family. And I'm blessed with, a growing business, a business that makes a difference in the world and makes a powerful impact. I'm blessed in so many ways. I have time freedom. There's nothing on my calendar that I have to do. It's everything on my calendar I get to do. It's not out of obligation. Everything's cancelable. And like, the life that I designed in 2017 is the life that I'm living right now, and it's wonderful. A life of travel, and a life of impact, and a life of just doing things that I love to create wealth and to create success and to create impact. But in our mastermind and in our business and in our workshop, we just finished up a workshop. In our workshop, a question comes up regularly. How can we be grateful for what we have and stay hungry for more? And fair question. How can we be grateful for what we have and stay hungry for more? Now, this hasn't been easy for me my whole life. I was, if I go back to my my childhood roots, I grew up in a family where it was you were almost dissuaded from wanting. Like, wanting anything was met with a little bit of shame and some guilt, and people, you just, whatever, you never satisfied, you always want more. And so it was almost like I grew up in a family where you were trained to turn off your want valve and to feel guilty and to feel shameful for wanting anything. And listen, that didn't serve me during the course of my life. Now, obviously, our parents do the best they can. I do believe that everybody in this world is doing the best they can. Every single person, 8 billion people on the planet, everybody's doing the best they can. Sometimes it's just not that good. But when I was going through, religious indoctrination and growing up in the house that I grew up in and being exposed to, I don't know, principles that poisonous principles, that wanting is not okay, or that desiring is not okay. It goes against the basic human premise of creativity and of abundance and receiving and accepting, like, the goodness of life, the abundance of life, the richness of life. There's plenty to go around for everybody. You can have as much as you want. And it doesn't mean it needs to be taken away from somebody else. Like, everything keeps expanding on the face of the earth, and everything keeps expanding in the universe. And being grateful, sometimes we confuse being grateful for not receiving more. And these two are not in conflict. These two are not in conflict. When we talk about on Thanksgiving Day being grateful, it doesn't mean that for the day we stop wanting more. It means that the way I phrase it is listen, I love what I have, and I'm satisfied with what I have, and I'm grateful for what I have, but I am open to receiving more. I'm always open to receiving more. I'm grateful for what I have, and I have everything I need, but I'll always stay open for more. And this comes in the form of wealth and students and the impact I make in the world and the wealth that my family enjoys, the financial wherewithal that my family enjoys, the amount of the goodness of the food, the quality of the food that we get to enjoy, the materials that we have in our life. And it's almost ironic that in the US, Thanksgiving Day, the fourth Thursday of November, is immediately followed by a day called Black Friday. The reason it's called Black Friday is because companies in the United States, they go on like hyper tear to discount everything to drive consumer demand that, for the most part, finally puts them into the black for the year. And if you look at a lot of commercial entities, a lot of consumerism, consumer type products, the companies are in the red until Thanksgiving, until Black Friday, and that's when they finally break into profitability for the year. And then they accelerate their profitability through the holidays, through the Christmas holidays. Then they go back into the red right at the beginning of the year, the new year. And we have a day of Thanksgiving, and then it's immediately followed by Black Friday, where consumer demand just goes through the roof. And listen, here's some concepts that I would invite you to stew on and to, I guess, bang against each other. There's a concept of wanting. There's a reason that somebody would want that is painful, that will create struggle where struggle doesn't exist. And that's when there's a feeling or a state or a condition of lack inside of your mind and body, where you feel like something's missing in your life. And listen, you want things, but there's a difference between wanting and needing. And You need very little: oxygen, water, nutrition, exercise, and rest, a little bit of shelter around you. Your needs are very basic, but your wants are many, because the mind wants to want more than it actually wants to have. Your mind wants to want more than it wants to enjoy what it already has. So sometimes, in some cases, your mind creates a state of lack in your mind and your body, which makes you feel incomplete. And as soon as I get this thing, then I'll feel complete. It could be with cars, it could be with money, it could be with clothes, it could be with anything. The size of your house, it could be with a new boat, it could be with a new career. As soon as I have this thing, then I'll feel okay. And one of my favorite concepts, one of the favorite quotes that I share is the thing you want will not solve the problem that you have. The problem that you have is you think you have a problem. Now, I'll repeat that. The thing you want will not solve the problem that you have. The problem that you have is that you think you have a problem, because your basic needs, if you're listening to this podcast, if you're watching this recording, your basic needs are met: oxygen, water, nutrition, exercise, rest, a little bit of shelter around you. If you're watching this or listening to this on a $1,000, multi-$1,000 device, you have everything you need. If there's a sense of lack in you, like something you don't have enough, or it's incomplete, or you're unfulfilled, the problem is that you feel unfulfilled, not that you don't have that thing. The problem is that you're living with a state of lack inside of you, not that you don't have a thing. The problem is that you think you need something to be okay when you don't need something to be okay. The problem isn't that you don't have something. The problem is that you think you need something to be okay. Now, we go back to Thanksgiving, and we go back to a state of gratitude for having everything that we need in our life: oxygen, water, nutrition, exercise, rest, some shelter. We have everything that we need in our life to be okay. And we follow that immediately up with lack advertising, where these companies, where the media, where marketing agencies, where advertisers will create a sense of lack in you that they promise to fulfill. There's not a state of lack, but awesome marketers, talented advertisers can create a sense of lack in you, even though one doesn't exist. They use your insecurities against you. They use your inadequacies against you. They use states of insignificance against you. And they create pain, and they create suffering. They create lack in you, even though there's not. And then the problem that they create, they promise to fix. And the thing that you want will not solve the problem that you have. The problem that you have is you think you have a problem. Does this mean that you shouldn't want anything? No, it doesn't mean that. It means be grateful for what you have, because you have everything that you need to survive: oxygen, water, nutrition, exercise, rest, and some shelter. And we live in a very materially rich universe, a very materially rich world, a world abundant with money, and abundant with nature and natural resources, and abundant with human beings, and abundant with options and opportunities and experiences and adventure and beautiful destinations, from the mountains to the seas to the desert, to now we're going into outer space. We live in a universe, and we live in a world that's full of so much goodness in, but not to solve an internal conflict that's not going to be solved by something outside of you. Right now we have 40 students in our mastermind. 40 seats filled in our mastermind. And there are more than 40 people in our mastermind because we invite the spouse, we invite the committed life partner in as part of the seat. So although we have 40 seats filled, we have 60 people, 60 some people in there because their partners are part of our mastermind, part of our group. And I don't need number 41. I don't need number 42. I don't need number 43. My goal is 100. I don't need 100, but it's an experience and adventure. It's a lot of fun to continue to expand it and create it. But I know all my basic needs are met. And this business is something that I get excited to wake up to every day. And I don't need more clients, but experiencing the building of more clients and a richer community and a more meaningful and powerful community, that is worth the freaking ticket price. But it's different. My wants are not needs. And when there's a sense of lack inside of you that you're trying to fill with a new television or with a new car or with new clothes or with a new watch or with a new whatever, when there's a sense of lack inside of you, a sense of unfulfillment that you're trying to solve through some external resource, through some material or another amount of wealth, or just, your addiction to more, if you're trying to solve an internal problem, it's because you've made your wants needs. And you need very little: oxygen, water, nutrition, exercise, and rest. If you're listening to this, you don't need anything. If your want comes from a place of lack, then you're missing the whole point of all of this. My friend Brian and I have a word, and I just stole the word from him, but we call it funsies. We're building our business for funsies. I host workshops for funsies. In our last workshop, we signed 8 new students, 8 new seats filled for funsies. Now there's 8 new members, a couple more, 10 or 11 based on spouses and partners coming into the group with us. But we've got 8 new seats, and that's new students, new people whose lives are going to change. And what's going to happen is we're going to unlock the process of feeling grateful for what you have, safe and secure in what you have, satisfied with what you have, but open up the opportunity to always receive more, not from a place of lack, but from a place of funsies, not trying to solve an internal conflict. Thanksgiving Day in the US, my favorite single day of the year, is all about understanding that you're already living in abundance because all the oxygen you need is fully available to you. I guarantee you, if you're listening to this, your fridge is full. You got food in the fridge. When you turn on your spigot, your water spigot, water comes out of it. I guarantee you have everything that you need. Your wants may be abundant too, but make sure your wants don't become needs. And that's how you increase the level of gratitude that you have in this world, while maintaining in a place where you'll be open to receive more and live life for funsies, not for having your perceived needs met, which are just wants. This is a very important aspect of life. If you want to increase your level of joy, then your level of dissatisfaction must go down, because these two are indirectly proportional. As your level of dissatisfaction goes up, your level of joy goes down. And as your level of joy goes up, your level of dissatisfaction goes down. And it's very, very hypercritically important to manage that level of dissatisfaction that's flowing in your mind and body. And when you do, as you reduce the level of dissatisfaction in your mind and body, your level of joy and your level of gratitude will skyrocket. And then you'll live life for funsies, not to solve an internal conflict that can never be solved through a material possession or anything outside of you. And that's what Thanksgiving Day is all about. It's honoring the abundance that's already present and being willing to receive more based on the increasing abundance all around you. Black Friday is all about creating a lack and creating a need. And I'm not going to have and it's pretty typical for people to have Black Friday offerings, right? Black Friday discounts, Black Friday deals. And I'm not going to have a Black Friday discount and a Black Friday deal, but I am going to have something really, really cool the following Monday. And we call it Cyber Monday in the US, maybe abroad too. But I'm going to be giving something away at such a freaking ridiculous discount that if you're hungry for education, if you're hungry for a higher quality of life, you'd be foolish to pass up. In order to see what I got in store, connect with my Facebook account and watch out on Monday, because I'm going to give you the keys to something that, and at such a ridiculous discount that it's foolish to say no to. Thanksgiving Day is my favorite day of the year. And I'm excited to jam with my family and to give thanks, to give praise to the abundance and this beautiful beauty and just the pure majesty of life. And I hope you do the same, no matter where you are around the world. I don't care what country you're in. I don't care what part of the globe you're in. Happy Thanksgiving to you, no matter when you're listening to this episode. It's good to be human together. And it's good to know that our needs are met and our wants are plentiful and they're all for funsies. Happy Thanksgiving.